G'day YouTube, welcome back to the VK8FOS YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've made a video and I'm afraid to inform you guys that it's not about software defined radio or RF hacking really, unfortunately. I do have some more stuff coming on the topic of SDRs and cellular and stuff like that, so yeah, stick around for that. But in this video today, we're going to be talking about satellite TV again. One of my viewers requested a video explaining the command line based tool called DVBlast, or DVBlast, sorry, should I say. It's basically a command line only application for Linux, which can basically stream a satellite television channel or transponder to VLC using only the command line. So there's no need for fancy graphical GUI based dvb-s front ends and stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool project. Application, should I say. It's made by VLC, actually, I'm led to believe. The same team that, provides the VLC media player for us, also make DVBlast, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, while we're on the topic of satellite television, it is actually pertinent to the subject matter of my YouTube channel. There's a lot more than just television on these satellites. There's like IP traffic. There's voice over IP. There's emails. It's some of the scrambling or decryption, encryption algorithms of satellite TV can be cracked. So that's a lot of cool stuff you can do on TV satellites. So yeah, so go check this playlist out on my channel if you're interested in learning more. So yeah, as I said before, a viewer of mine was requesting help in getting DVBlast to stream to VLC. Now, this isn't a easy application to use. It took me months and months and months to try and work it out. The documentation's very poor. I think the program itself is pretty old, so there's not a lot of current information about how to use it and stuff like that. So yeah, I finally figured it out. Even though what I'm doing today might not be the best way to do it, it's sort of a bit more hands-on and manual way of doing things, but hey, it's working for me. So yeah, if I can help out my viewer, at least get something streaming to VLC from DVBlast, that I'm sure they'll appreciate that. So yeah, this tutorial, again, normally this would be a video that I would just probably do a screen recording, but you guys don't like that. You guys want to actually see me, hear me, and watch me do my thing, apparently. So yeah, we're just going to do, I don't have a script or anything. I'm sort of just going to, I was playing around with this last night, and I'm sort of just going to rattle everything off the top of my head, hopefully, and not miss any steps and explain stuff. So I've got because it's after midday or after 2 o'clock, I've got my stream recording beer here. So I'm going to have a sip, and then we're going to get stuck into it. Okay, so this tutorial is going to make a few assumptions. So I'm running Dragon OS Focal X. I think it's R35. It's running on bare metal via a bootable USB. I've got a dvb-s satellite receiving card in this computer called a TBS6908. I've got the drivers installed, Linux drivers installed for that. And I think that's everything we need to know. And then obviously you have to have satellite equipment as well, like satellite dish, LMB, the coaxial feed line, which will connect the satellite dish LMB to your satellite receiver. I've got videos on satellite TV explained if you want to learn more how to I think it's these two videos here. If you want to learn more about the actual physical topology of a satellite setup, you can go and check out those two videos there. But yeah, for the time being, this will probably be more aimed at people that have a somewhat good understanding of satellite television. So we need to actually install DVBlast. So this is, it's not a vanilla installation of Dragon OS Focal X. So I'm not sure if this is just going to install automatically for you or not. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it, but I'm just going to run this command. And then, yeah, just install straight up on Dragon OS Focal X R35. So you might be using R36 or R37 or R32 or whatever. Hopefully it should just work. If it doesn't and there's dependencies, I apologize for that, and you'll have to rectify them on your own. And yeah, as we can see, that installed just fine. So I'm going to clear the terminal here. And don't forget, like with Linux applications in the command line, guys, you can always send the binary, the H argument or the H flag, whatever terminology you use. I call it an argument. Some people call it a flag. That's just like the letters after the binary, which will send a command to the binary, if that makes sense. And yeah, we can just go through and check out all the available options to configure there. So I'll once again clear my terminal. So I've got a universal LMB, guys, which is the stock standard LMB that DVBlast uses. So I don't have to configure my LMB settings because it just uses universal as default. So if you're not using a universal LMB, like you may have a 10750 local oscillator or a 10700 local oscillator or something, you'll have to send the binary the H argument and then figure out how to do that. But most people use universal LMBs, which means they can cover the entire spectrum from 10700 megahertz to 12750 megahertz. That's the entire KU band range. I'm not touching C band, guys. I don't have the real estate for a C band dish because they are larger than KU. So for the time being anyway, my wife has given me permission to install a C band dish, but we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. So I've just got a couple of pre-made commands now. So I'm going to copy and paste this command here. So a TV transponder is the signal in which is transmitted from the satellite to Earth. And typically it might be just like maybe one channel, or one transponder can have like multiple channels, right? So it's not just one transponder per channel. It can be just one transponder can have one channel, or it can also have 40 channels in it. Transponder is just like the carrier signal, which carries all the TV information. And there can be multiple channels encoded into a transponder. So I'm targeting a satellite called Intelsat 19. It's probably the most interesting satellite we have here in Australia. We're not that spoiled when it comes to diversity in our satellite signals, unfortunately. But what we do have in Australia are super interesting and cool. And there's plenty of stuff to play around with still. So I know for a fact that there is a feed channel on this frequency here and this symbol rate. And I've sent it the V argument, which stands for voltage, and 13 volts will tell the LNB to turn into the vertical polarization, and 18 volts, which is sent to the LNB, will make it horizontal. So I know for a fact that there's a feed channel, which is just a single channel, which is more like an internal, like backhaul link between different TV stations in Australia, for example. And I've got multiple RF front ends for DVB-s in this computer, so I'm using adapter 2, but for you guys it'll probably be just like adapter 0 or something. U means don't add any hardware filtering, so it's just going to take the raw data from the transponder. And then yeah, we have F for frequency, S for symbol rate. So symbol rate is kind of like the bandwidth, for example, like of a satellite signal. So if it's 7,200 mega symbols, I think it is. It's probably close to 7 megahertz in bandwidth. It's not always like that, but typically it can be. And yeah, I've already explained voltage. And then the D flag or D argument that is the multicast address and port that DVBlast will send the video and sound data, right? So we can actually watch the channel. So I'm going to press enter on that command. And yeah, we can see that it has opened my TurboSite TBS 6903 and it's tuned it successfully, and it's also got a lock on the signal. Front end has acquired signal, front end has acquired lock. And then we've got some information here about like the PIDs and stuff like that. So a PID is I think it's program ID. So that's like the identifier of a TV stream on a satellite transponder, essentially. Again, I'm not a satellite engineer, guys. Okay, if I get terminology wrong, I apologize for that. Yeah, and we've got also the name of the programming and the provider here as well. So yeah, it's Channel 9 television station in Australia. And the service is ENC3 ODS, which stands for Encoder 3. And then ODS is like the main Channel 9 TV station building in Sydney. It's kind of like the big national like headquarters of that particular television station. So in my second terminal window here, I've got a command to run VLC. So I've just written VLC, and then the video and audio packets are going to be sent on an IP address of 224.0.0.1, port 1234, and in RTP real-time. Was it RT real-time protocol? Anyway, it's just a streaming protocol basically. So I'm going to hit enter on that. And there we have it. So this is just like the standby test pattern. So this is a backhaul link channel. So when the TV station has stuff it needs to send to another like the other TV stations around Australia, they'll use the satellite because it's just cheap, easy, and it's like high bit rate, high bandwidth, and it can just blast it all over the Australian continent to all the other TV stations. So when there's nothing getting sent, it'll have this test pattern happening. So, and yeah, I'll just to make sure that it's not a recording or anything like that. We can see here that, yeah, it is in fact streaming, and then here's all the codec details and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's definitely coming from the satellite. So yeah, I'll just close that now. So that's all well and good. We can stream one single TV channel essentially, right? So how do you stream multiple channels? And that's a very good question. It's not as easy as that, unfortunately. So what we need to do is we need to create a .conf text file. So I've already done that in my home directory, and I've just called it channels.conf. And then I've written this stuff here. So we'll just ignore this for the time being. So basically how it works is when you've got multiple TV channels on a single satellite transponder, you can't use command line magic to stream every single one of those channels. So we have to create a configuration file. Now this is where like the manual stuff comes in. I've read online that there is a way to automate this using wscan, but I was playing around with that last night, and wscan does not output any channels.conf file that DVBlast understands. So I don't know where people got their wires crossed with that. It doesn't look anything like it. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a manual task here. So there's a format how we have to list the channels. So each channel will have its own multicast address, right? So just say, for example, the first one we'll probably use is 224.0.0.1. And then the next channel will be .2 and then .3 and then .4. So that's all good and well, right? This is how we're going to stream multiple channels. But how do we know which channels to write into this document? I'll show you that. So I've got this pre-written command here. Now, again, this is not a blind scanner, so this is not going to find television channels for you to watch. You've already got to know that. So you can use maybe your Windows utility or Pneumo DVB in Linux as well to find actually which transponders have television. So I already know for a fact that there's a television transponder on this, TV channels on this transponder here on Intelsat 19. So I'm going to run this command. And as you can see, I've used a few grep flags here. And then that's going to filter out the channels that are encrypted for us. And then it's only going to show us channels which are unencrypted. So I'm just going to hit enter on that. And basically what's happening is DVBlast is tuning my satellite card to this particular transponder, and then it's showing me like all the services that we can watch. So these are all unencrypted services, and there's 28 of them. I know that for a fact because I've done this already today in preparation for this video. And we don't really particularly need to fuss ourselves with the names of the transponders. What we care about is this thing right here, which is called the service ID. And there's a unique identifier of each channel on this transponder, and that's the number we care about. So I'm going to once again open up my channels.conf file, and then here's where the painstakingly manual stuff, manual hand typing stuff comes in. So I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible for you guys. So up here we could see, so this is the format of each line. So each line will designate one channel. And we've got the multicast IP address and port. We'll have a number 1 there, which signifies that yes, this transponder is on and it's ready to get tuned into. Oh, sorry, this TV channel is ready to get tuned into. And then we have the service ID number, which is this number here I explained to you guys before. So what I'm going to do is hopefully I'm going to try and speed this up for you guys. So we've got 28 of these. So I'm just going to start hooking in and getting this done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so these are the IP multicast IP addresses for all 28 channels. One, two, 10. Whoops. What I might do is to save you guys the hassle of writing your own text document like this, I might just upload like a blank one for you guys with all the IP addresses written out already and stuff like that. And yeah, that'll I'm sure that'll save you guys a lot of time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that should be 1 to 28 there. So now we can copy this here. We can append this to every line now. So yeah, this is every TV channel has its own multicast IP address, and then they're all using port 1, 2, 3, 4. And then all the lines have a 1 here, signifying that this transponder will be on and ready to go. So now what I've got to do now is I've got to append the service ID of all 28 channels to here. So I'm just going to quickly go through and do that. So what do we have? 41, 42, 47, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 60, 61, 106, 109, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 119, 120, 204. So where are we? 204, 205, 206, 207, 208, 209, 210, 214. Thank goodness for that. We don't have any lines left over or yeah, that's really good. Thank God that worked on the first time. I'm going to save that because that was a lot of work. I think that's really all we need to do now, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just make sure we've got our multicast IP address and port. We've got a 1 for always on. And then we've got our service ID number. So that's looking all good there, guys. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, save that and close it. You can close this now. And then this next command is almost the same as the one at the top, except there's a fundamental change, which I'll just explain to you guys. So I've removed all the grep and like all the grep pipeline stuff there, and I've actually added a C argument, and then we're addressing the path to our channels.conf file here. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So basically, DVBlast now has a list of all the available channels, and then which channels are going to be allocated to which IP address. So that's pretty cool. So we'll just hit enter on that. And it seems like everything is going to work here. So I've got to be really careful here because I don't want to get copyright strike. So I'm not going to listen to any radio, but hopefully this TV transponder is all mainly just like international, like Greek channels and Italian channels and stuff like that. So hopefully if we just choose one, we won't get anything that's going to copyright strike my channel. So I'll hit enter on that.
Παπάκι Νατάσα Γιάμαλη, είτε στο X Παπάκι Mega TV Official, είτε στο δικό μου Αγιάμαλη και βέβαια Mega TV στο Facebook. Και αφού τα είπα όλα αυτά, αλλάζουμε κλίμα, αλλάζουμε έτσι διάθεση, πάμε στα πιο σοβαρά της επικαιρότητας. Κινούμε εγώ και φτάνω επιτέλους στο τραπέζι των εξελίξεων. Θα αλλάξουμε και υπήρους των 7 θαλασσών και των 5 υπήρων.
I'll just close that. And let's just choose a random channel. So let's just say, let's just go channel, so IP address .8 and hit enter on that. Oh, maybe not 8. I know some of them work and then some don't. So let's try just 10.
Za doček nove 2025. godine.
Yep, there we go. That's another. I don't know what language that is or what country that's from or anything like that, but yeah, that's we can cross-reference our we can cross-reference our thing here. So I'm tuned into .8, and we know that that's program 57. So. Probably find what 57 is here in this list. Yeah, 57 here. It's TV plus channel 17, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, just maybe we'll just do one more. I know for a fact that some of these are radio, so I'm just going to try and pick. Maybe we'll go 16. See which channel 16 is. No, it appears to be some religious channel. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, okay, sweet. So that's working then. So yeah. What else was I going to show you guys? So again, you can make a playlist, right? So if you want to get like really technical like this, I prepared this one today. I've just added some like notes to myself and just made it like pretty looking here, you know. I've got like names and stuff here and like of each of the channels and stuff like that. So yeah, you can go through and like do that for yourself to keep it nice and tidy, I guess. And you can use that to cross, like if you haven't used DVBlast for a while and you can't remember how you got it working, you can refer back to this with all your pretty notes and stuff. And again, this is another like painstakingly slow thing, but you can also make a playlist for VLC as well. So I had to manually add all the names to everything. So yeah, I'll just show you the playlist. So this is a XSPF file, which has like metadata for each of the channels. So I went through and like manually named them all and stuff like that just to keep it really pretty. So I'll open that in VLC. And you can see what comes up in the playlist. And yeah, you can see here that I manually added each of the URLs and I added a metadata title to each of them, and then I just saved the playlist as an XSPS file or whatever it is. So yeah, that's how you do that. But yeah, this was very time consuming. The whole thing took me an hour to do, make everything all pretty and stuff. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today. So yeah, that's how you use DVBlast. So it's pretty cool to stream satellite television without a pretty GUI front end like Numo DVB. And yeah, it should work in Dragon OS Focal X, or it might probably work in Debian or Ubuntu, or yeah, give it a shot and let me know. So yeah, that's really all I got for you guys today. Yeah. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.